Welcome to Principles for Faster Learning. This session is presented by Neelam Talreja, the founder of Mindseed Tutorials right here in Malad West, Mumbai. With years of experience guiding students to success, she's all about sharing proven techniques to help you accelerate your learning. So let's dive in.
So, let's kick things off with a question. Does this sound familiar? You're putting in the hours, you're highlighting everything in the textbook, but when you get your results back, they just don't match the effort you put in. It's super frustrating, and it's a feeling shared by so many students, like a young man named Jake who dreamed of getting into MIT but just couldn't seem to stay focused no matter how hard he tried.
So how do we fix this? Where do we even begin? Well, the first step to learning faster isn't some secret hack or complicated trick. It's actually about building a really solid foundation. And that foundation, it comes down to two key things: your mindset and your focus. This quote from a Zen monk really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? We become what we think. Our mindset is incredibly powerful. If you're constantly telling yourself, "I'm just not good at this subject," that can literally become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, the real first step is to flip that script in your head and start believing that you are absolutely capable of learning anything. Now, this idea of focus connects perfectly to this amazing concept from Zen Buddhism called Ichigyo Zamai. It means total concentration on a single action. And it's more than just paying attention. It's about becoming so immersed in what you're doing that everything else just melts away. You know that feeling when you're so into a good book or a video game that you lose all track of time? That's what we're aiming for when we study. The cool thing is, you don't need superhuman willpower to get into this state. You just need a better system. It starts with a simple ritual. Your phone goes into a drawer, and all those extra tabs on your computer get closed. Then, you find a quiet spot where you won't be distracted. You set a timer and work in focused bursts. And here's the key. When your mind wanders, and it will, don't get upset. Just gently bring it back to the task. You're literally training your brain just like a muscle. All right, so we've got our mind right, we're focused. Now let's get into the actual techniques that are going to transform your study time from something passive into a really powerful, active process. So here's a weird but true idea from modern learning science. It's called the effort-time exchange. Basically, it means that to learn faster in the long run, you have to make the process feel a little bit harder in the moment. Trying to make learning super easy is a trap. That's when you have to spend way more time relearning it later on. And this is what we mean by that. Look at the difference here. Passive studying is what we all do. Just reading, watching videos, maybe highlighting a few things. It feels productive, but your brain's not really working. Active learning, on the other hand, is when you force your brain to do something, like recalling information from memory or organizing it in a new way. It creates what scientists call a productive struggle. And that struggle, that's where the real learning happens. Now, if there's one thing you take away from this section, let it be this question right here. As you're learning something new, just keep asking yourself, how can I organize this? It's so simple, but it's a total game changer. It forces your brain to stop being a passive sponge and start being an active architect, building connections and making sense of everything. That's the key to really understanding something deeply. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, instead of just reading a chapter, try drawing the ideas out as a flowchart, or create a mind map connecting all the key concepts. After you read a page, close the book and try to summarize it out loud in your own words, without looking. You're taking the information and building something new with it, something that makes sense to you. Okay, let's put all the pieces together. We have the right mindset, and we've got some powerful techniques. Now we just need a smart system to make our learning consistent and super efficient. You know, the most effective learners don't just study for weeks and then cram for a big test at the end. They use something called the iteration effect. They treat learning like a cycle. They learn a little bit, test themselves on it, see what they got wrong, and then adjust their understanding. It's a constant loop of learning and refining. And this process is brilliant. You learn one small new thing. Then you immediately test yourself on it. We call this micro-retrieval. The goal isn't to get a perfect score. The goal is to find your mistakes and the gaps in your knowledge right away. Then you can go back, fix your misunderstanding, and repeat the whole thing. This way, there are no big surprises come exam time. And what holds this entire system together? Well, it brings us full circle, back to discipline. This means creating a daily study schedule and actually sticking to it. It means before you even start studying, you know exactly what your goal is for that session. And it means using those focused time blocks we talked about to make sure every single minute counts. So there you have it, the whole framework, a focused mindset, active techniques, and a smart structure. And these aren't just abstract theories. They are real, practical tools you can start using literally today to completely change how you learn. The next step is simply to begin. I think the biggest takeaway here is that being a good learner isn't about some innate talent you're born with. It's all about strategy. And by intentionally working on your focus, using these active techniques, and building a consistent system, anyone can learn faster and more deeply. So if you'd like some personalized guidance to really put these principles into action, I highly recommend reaching out to Neelam and her team at Mindseed Tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. And now the real question is, which one of these principles are you going to try first?